Welcome to Trading Lounge and the European Indices for Friday, September the 24th, starting with the FTSE today. And the move that we have up here for Wave B is at the 50-60% retracement level and above. So this is where we need to be careful that we're not in a bullish market at this point. So that top there being the B wave would need to see the C wave move down from that point. Okay, so let's just move into the 1 hour chart. So we could say that any further highs on this, then we would need to turn this market bullish. Okay, so we'll see if this falls down at this point. I can see that well, the Asian markets need to push up higher. I can see that the US markets need to push up a bit higher as well. I can see the US banks will take the the S&P and the smaller stocks to the S&P 400 and 500 higher based on those guys. So yeah, we need to now understand at what point that we need to turn bullish on these markets. So we're just going to go and have a look at the DAX at this point. So with the DAX here, we've got wave 1 here, as I've explained before, and this is the length of wave 1 here, and wave 3 here is not longer than wave 1 at this point. Doesn't have to be, but I don't think, and also too here is wave 5 is just so small here. I mean, the first thing that I would look at doing if we pushed up higher here would be to put wave 4 here. But just to let you know that this wave 4 could probably come over here as well for this. So there's a bit of iffiness with all of this. So just, I need to say that first up, that I'm not that happy with wave 3 being shorter. I'd like to see it up here somewhere. So second on that is, let's just go to the daily chart here. Now, we've had this move down through here. We could probably count it in a different way as well, but we've been looking for the B wave to move up. It's testing above the 61.8%. It's not the end of the world. We can also look at the 78.6, the square root of 61.8%, and move a little bit higher. But it is thrusting up there higher, so we do need to be mindful that the market could move higher, because after all, this is it's corrective here. And also too, this never finished off very well over here, and could I put wave 4 over here? I think that's probably the best bet, but I'm not going to do that straight away. First of all, we need to see if at what point the B wave is finished. That it's either going to move down or we're going to be in a bullish pattern to move to the upside. In the first instance for today and probably early next week, we'll probably look at putting wave 4 over here, but I don't think that's correct. I think that we need to put this wave 4 over here for that. So anyway, besides battling it out for these two, which is not here nor there at the moment, we still need to understand wave B and wave C at this point. So based on that, where are we? The daily, we can go to the 4 hour chart here, and this is really what we've been looking at. So looking at this move up, you can see that it's moved up a bit high. There's a lot of supply coming in around, resistance coming in around that, and that would take us into group 2, so 65, 72 and 80 into that space. And yeah, we need to start to understand. Well, I mean, as a C wave here, we should see this on more of an angle, but it's not, it's not really happening. It's kind of vertical, so it's got the sort of personality of a third wave to the upside. So we need to be careful about that. So we need to move in here a little bit further. This would be the bullish count if that was going to be the case. So putting this wave 4 in here to start with without rocking the boat too much, but you know how I feel about that. So in this case here, we can look at wave 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 in that space. So we'd also need to be a little bit careful, chasing this as well. So if we can look at the tick chart in a moment, but if we looked at this as wave 4 and wave 5 here, then we'll still have an ABC pattern at this point and moving up from that point. That wave 4 could also be the top of this wave 3 here rather could be the top of wave 5 of 1 over here as well, with the deeper pullback, if we consider this being wave 1 and 2 here and 3 and 4 here and 5 here. A little bit sort of long on that, but we still need to keep an eye on that as well. So let's just cruise into, maybe that's enough. So we don't need to worry too much about that. Our focus is really all about this. So, and we need to compare the other markets too, you know, so still got that to do as well. So looking at this as the low here, there's a possibility that this could also be the low over here, but we'll start with this. In terms of moving to the upside for wave A here, even if we included this as an A and a B and a C for the A wave and then the B wave, that could play out as well. But otherwise 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then going up for wave 5 there to make wave 1. So I'll just move that out the way a little bit because it will just confuse things a little bit. And that should be wave C there, sorry about that. Of wave B, let's put that in. So we just need to understand all of this a little bit clearer now that we're getting closer to it. We don't want to get sort of, you know, sort of sucked into something and get a turn on us as well. So yeah, as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 there, it's kind of okay. And then we've got wave 5 here expanding there. But the problem with that is that it's probably better off played out as 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 at that point, but still this is a nice fourth wave at this point. It's just that the fifth wave expanding up there looks more, it's got more form in it. It'd be more like a third wave this wave here. So anyway, we've got to sort of solve that, but in the meantime here we can look at the important point here of wave B or wave 4, but we're going for wave B here at the moment. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1 and 2 here, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here for this, and 5 for this. So we'll put that there as 5 and 3 and 4 here, and then we need to go up for wave 5 here. So this is at the point where we start to understand things like finishing and so on. So we can put wave 1 there and wave 2 there, and we'll still need wave 3 come into play, and we can take a closer look at that, and wave 4 and then wave 5. So copying that, so I'll just pop that up there. So to me, once we go past this wave 5 of 5 of 5 of C here, then we've got a more bullish picture at that point. But at the same time, if that's going to be wave C there, then I'll just remove that. I'll just copy that there for a second. It's probably going to be wave 3, but and then we'll pull back for wave 4, but then we'll have a look at the stock 50, not so much the FTSE. So we can look at this as wave 1 and 2 here, just to get some bearing on this, and this will be 1 and 2 here. This will be the third wave happening. This will be a fourth wave and a fifth wave for this wave 3, and then there'll be this wave 4 playing out here, and then there'll be this wave 5. So there will be resistance at 800. 8's the third strongest number, and there will be resistance from that point. So this is where we'll either have wave C of B top in play, or we're going to have wave 3 here. Because of that little move right at the beginning of the market, it's also possible to have wave 1 at that point. But all that said, we should see, because we're ending the structure, we should see some larger correction unfold at this point. So we'll be able to use this correction to go higher up or to go lower down at that point. So the market will turn at that point. I do want to have a look at, we can come back to this, but I do want to have a look at the stock 50, because that's got also a nice trend to the upside. It's also like looking very bullish here as well. Obviously it's hitting resistance here, and the thing is that it's got a bit of momentum, so it's going to push up here first and then come back. So it'll be interesting to see if it works lower from that point or works higher from that point. That's what we need to figure out. In this case, we don't have what the DAX did, had little 1 and 2 in here. In this case, it's just pretty clean from this point. So in this case, if we were going to be bullish, which we still need to confirm, we would look at this here as 1 and 2 here, and then obviously this top over here can be wave 3, and the move back here wave 4 and wave 5. So we would be looking at if we were going to put this wave 4 into play over here, then we would look up here for wave 1 here, and then wave 2 coming back over yonder here. So that would be wave 1 and 2 here, and this would be wave 3 coming in over here where wave C is. Let's just move these out of the way a little bit, just so you get the basic picture and at what time we need to act. So that would be 3, would come back for 4, and then would go up for 5, and then we would have this ABC back for 2 over here, and then push up into a much bigger bull market at that point. But I'll drop that all down 1 degree because I don't think we're in that wave 3. I think we're in a different one, but still, anyway, we'll just use that for the time being. But the point is that a couple of points here is that it's quite clear that we've got wave 1 or wave A and B and 2 here, and then the third wave here, because nice and long and strong, it's gone through the 50-60% retracement level here. So it does appear that we could be in this wave 3. We have talked about it before. So then we'd still need wave 4 here and wave 5 here, because this would be the one that we wanted to catch back here. We could trade that up here. We could catch that. This will be, wave 4 will be complicated a bit. We could trade a bit of that, but it would be this wave 2 at that point, because if we get 5 waves here, then we're going to get another strong move up from that point, and that's the one that we would want at that stage. So just coming back here, we still need to stay keeping our feet on the ground as an A wave, a B wave and a C wave, even though it has gone quite high, because we have to be careful that if we're in a wave 4 over here for all of this, then we know wave 4s can get complicated to the fact that we could have this as the A wave here. The B wave can take the top out here and then move down again, so an expanded flat. So if the market comes up, we've got the top of wave 3 here, we get 3 waves here, and then we get another 3 waves here taking the top out here, and then it can come down and take the low out here as well, and then move up. So it can get rather complicated, but I do see the US banks pushing higher. So I think that we will be going higher. So I don't think we'll be getting this, but just letting you know what we need to be, we need to understand what can possibly happen and how to work it. So, okay, going into the, 4 hour, going into the hourly chart here for the stock 50. So as you can see here, we've got a much cleaner move from the thing here. So we can have it as wave A or wave B or wave 2 here. This is quite powerful. So it is looking like wave 3 rather than, rather than a wave C at this point. I'd have to say that would be a fair comment on that. I can see that this is corrective here. I can see that we need to push higher. So we could look at this as a classic trading levels pattern here, with the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, and then a corrective pattern coming into play here. And then we could look to go long over there or move back in this way, but we need to be careful we don't actually come down at that point. So beyond 3 waves down, we would need to be short on 3 waves. If you do it on 1 wave, you could get trapped, because that will be 5 and that will be 5, and then it'll push up from that point. So we need to be a little bit careful about this. But also too, if Friday closes strong, then Monday's going to follow through as well in our bullish weekly cycle. So if Friday closes weak, then we know we've got a change in trend. Okay. I don't know if I've got this on the tick chart. Oh yes, I have. Okay, good. So let's just get in a bit more data from the low here. See, with the DAX, the DAX had this pattern here, right? But it didn't make a new low here, where this one did. That's why I'm wondering shouldn't worry about that first one with the DAX. Anyway, room for discussion. But besides that, we've just been tracing up here, and it has played out really quite strong here. So it does look like a third wave, doesn't it, rather than a wave C. But either way, we are where we are. So wave A and B here, or wave 2, and then we've got 1 and 2 here, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 the third wave, fourth wave here, and then we're going up for the next leg. Does that drop below that? Do we need to move that over there? It does look a bit impulsive coming down here, doesn't it? Still, this will give us the leg that you're looking for. And we'd want this leg here to be longer than this one. So somewhere up there would be nice. And then wave 4. And then wave 5. So that's where this top would play. So it's same as the DAX. We just don't know if it's wave 3 or wave C. In both cases, we're going to see some sort of correction back. So that's what will also have to work as well. Okay, so I'll leave all that at that. Just to recap everything, I guess, we just really need to try to consider what we've got here with all of this. That market's falling out of bed because it's on the close. Just to recap this. It does look bullish, I grant you that. It has moved through the 61.8% mark. I do know wave force can get really quite complicated, so before we decide that it's going to be bullish, we'll need some evidence for that. So we would need the top in play here for wave 3 or C here. We would need to discover what this move down, is it impulsive down for wave 1, or is it going to be wave 4, and then we're going to be pushing up from that point for wave 5, which will be somewhere up into this space here. And if that is the case, then that 5 waves would make wave 1, and we'll pick it up for wave 2 at that point, And that would be our trade over here. We could trade this point here through some of this, I'd imagine, but because the extension's in wave 3 here, that means that wave 1 here and wave 5 will be roughly the same, and it'll come in across the top here as well, so that will pin it down a bit further. So there's all those sorts of things. But if it is 5 waves here, then we've got this nice third wave to catch over here. It'll just take a bit of time to get to it, that's all. But otherwise, we just still need to watch out for the bearish side of things for this to finish off here. So there's not a lot I can do or say. I mean, it would have been nice to, I think in some markets we've traded long through these points, but not all of them. So anyway, that's the way the cookie crumbles. Okay, I'll leave it at that. We just still need to gather more information. Okay, cheers.